Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our WWE show for the week. First off, sorry it's running so late guys. Had a busy week this week. I've been on a little bit of a vacation, so been tied up and not able to do the show until today. We're going to start off with the so-so segment of the week. Basically the stuff that's really forgettable, that you don't care about, much less you're going to remember after this week. First part, the beginning segment. Now, we all know, it's well documented how I hate these beginning talking segments and how repetitive and dumb they are. We get Stephanie McMahon, Randy Orton, Dave Batista. The two things coming out of it are Stephanie slapping Batista and Batista ripping his pants. But other than that, who cares? It doesn't do anything for me. It highlights the two guys I don't care about in the main event of WrestleMania. And it's just boring. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't add excitement to the show. Next up, the Fatal 4-Way for the chance at the Intercontinental title. Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus versus the winner, Christian. It never got off the ground. I mean, it didn't mesh well. The four guys didn't work together great. It's building with the Sheamus and Christian feud that I think is one of the worst feuds on television right now. Christian wins, doesn't even get to defend because we find out he had a concussion. I mean, to me, you throw guys like Del Rio and Ziggler, who were world championship contenders last year, into a garbage match like this, and it kind of just, it hurts their characters, in my opinion, when they could be doing much, much more with both of the guys. But coming off of that, we get our Scooby-Doo tie-in for the week, that he comes out in the Mystery Machine with Sin Cara against Damien Sandow. Sin Cara picks up the win. Yet again, another guy with Sandow that you could be doing more with. It's proven that he could be someone that you can bank on. However, he's stuck in purgatory, basically. Stuck in mid-card hell for the rest, probably going to be the rest of his career. Unfortunately, it's something like this, it's, one of the backlashes of having as much talent as they do there is that guys like Sandow, who are just as talented as anybody they're willing to push, kind of get lost in the shuffle. Unfortunately, it happens to people. I don't like it, you don't like it, no one likes it, but it is what it is. Now, coming off of that, our last of the so-so portions was Titus O'Neil versus The Big Show. Not a bad match. The reason I did not like it, however, was the fact that Show went over on Titus. You want to give Titus a chance, and I think he's someone that could be a main event player. I think he's got the look, I think he's got the charisma, I think he's got the in-ring ability to do so. However, since his singles run, you haven't really done anything with him, and him losing to Big Show, I mean, losing to Show is no mark on anybody's career. Tons of people have. Big Show's a Hall of Famer. However, starting off with Titus O'Neil's career, it would have done way more for Titus to pick up the win over Show than it would have ever done for Show beating Titus. Just my opinion. They lost an opportunity to build someone that they could have. Now going into the bad segments of the night. First off, our in-ring segment with Hulk Hogan, Joe Manganiello, Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Arnold's new movie. I forget what the name of it is, because I really don't care. I'm probably not even going to watch it. They're in the ring doing their spiel, brings out The Miz. Of course, leads to the three of them getting, basically throwing Miz out of the ring. Just a terrible segment all around. I don't know that this built up any buy rates for their movie. I don't know that it built up any interest for our show, for WWE. But it was on there. Just another terrible cross promotion. Now, last but not least on the bad segment, we had AJ Lee versus Naomi. And it ends in a countout when AJ just walks away from the match, only to find out that she's going to have to face every diva on the roster at WrestleMania. I hate putting the Divas division on here week after week. I really, really do. I'd love to put the Divas division on the good section. I'd love to have them be the match of the night. I'd love for them to be the most interesting thing on the card, and they can. And these are two very capable divas. However, they don't allow them to be. They give us this crap. They give us the clusterfuck ending. They give us the clusterfuck we're going to get at WrestleMania. And they wonder why no one gives a shit about the division. It's just the way it is. I mean, until they improve the division, this is going to be a perennial spot for the Divas matches in the bad section. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go in our question of the week from last week. The question was, out of the two WrestleMania songs, the Eminem one and the Kid Rock one, which one do you like better? We're going to go some answers from our friends. First is from Plus, aka at AUP116 on Twitter. For question of the week, Eminem, because Kid Rock has had a WrestleMania before and M's my favorite artist rapper. Good enough reasoning, I guess. And anytime a guy's your favorite, obviously you're going to like what they do more than the other guy. Next is our friend Corey McPhail. I'm honestly not a fan of either song, but in choosing the lesser of two evils, I side with Eminem. Again, another one for Eminem. God doesn't like either, though. Next is our friend Yellow Lion 3250. I would go with Kid Rock. I like his song and the beat fits WWE personally. And last but not least, our good friend Paul from over at the Deadly Sins. Eminem, he's just a better performer. Kid Rock has fallen flat since he did American Badass. The consensus seems to be Eminem. I'm going against the grain. I think of the two songs, and I agree, I think it was Yellow Lion that said it, that it fits better with what they're doing with the WWE. I see what Paul's saying. He's not been as good as he was as American Bad when he put out American Badass, but he has put out a couple good songs here and there. He's not as prolific as he once was. The style of music that he does, the rap rock style, has fell out of favor with America. I mean, guys like Limp Bizkit and Korn and Linkin Park have all kind of fallen out of the limelight, as has Kid Rock to a point. I like the song better personally. I mean, I don't have nothing against the Eminem song. I like Eminem a lot. I like the Kid, personally just like the Kid Rock song better, in my opinion. And I guess I'm in a minority in thinking that. Now, next up, our question of the week for this week is, we know there's going to be a 30-man Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Who do you predict to be the winner? Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Twitter, put it down where? Down there in the comments. Now, next up, we're going to go into our good portion of the show. The stuff that we actually enjoyed. First up, the tag team match with Los Matadors versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. Thought this was a good match. I thought the Shield coming out and costing Ryback the match helped to build with what we seen on Friday Night SmackDown, where Ryback was part of the dismantling of the Shield along with the Real Americans and the Outlaws and Kane. I thought this was good. I like the fact that we're seeing more and more of these tag teams, especially going into, we're going to find, these tag teams are going to wrestle at WrestleMania I believe it's a four-way they have set up for WrestleMania with Los Matadors versus the Usos versus the Real Americans, and I believe it's Ryback, that's the fourth team. I'm not 100% sure, though, on that. It might be Cody and Goldust. But, anyway. I like that they're trying to build the tag division, and we're getting solid tag matches every week now. makes for a better show in my opinion. Next up, we had our interview segment with Triple H and Michael Cole. Again, I guess I like this for selfish reasons. I think Triple H is one of the best guys, best all-around talents that there has been in the wrestling business ever. And on the mic, there's very, very few people that could draw you into a match like Triple H can. We got to find out that we're not going to get Triple H CEO, we're getting Triple H the Game at WrestleMania. I think him and this kind of promo makes his match with Daniel Bryan that much more interesting. Let's face it, folks. We all love Daniel Bryan. Everybody in the world wants him to win. However, he's not a great talker. He has a great catchphrase. He can have great interviews. But he can't talk you into buying a match. There are certain guys that can. There's guys like Triple H that can talk you into buying a match. Guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair. I mean, through the history, there have been guys that can, talk you into wanting to purchase that match, either to see them get beat or to see them conquer. Unfortunately, Daniel Bryan isn't at that level yet. That's not saying he's not a competent talker. He's a good talker. He's just not at the level where you buy a match based off of what he says. Triple H, on the other end, is. And Triple H selling this helps you buy WrestleMania, helps you get interest for that match, which probably is going to go down as Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania moment, him beating Triple H and then winning the triple threat match, which should be good. Coming off of that, we have Fandango versus Cody Rhodes. I kind of like what they're doing with the Fandango Rhodes brothers semi-feud they got going on. Give all the guys something to do until WrestleMania. I seen a little spark of possibly Summer Rae and Cody in the future, which could be interesting, having Summer break off from Fandango, him maybe recruiting a newer diva. Be an easy way. I mean, Fandango's an easy route to bring new divas up from NXT. You got him, if Summer leaves him, he needs a new dancer. I mean, you could do it 2 or 3 times. I mean, people have done it in the past. Jimmy Garvin switched valets a couple times, and every time he did, the valet would go on and do something else and help build out from that. But, I think it was a good match. Cody picks up the win. I like both the guys. I think they're both great talents, and I hope nothing but the best in their future. Next up, we have John Cena versus Luke Harper. Luke Harper continues to amaze me and anybody else that turns on the television. A guy of his size that can move around like he does. It's only a matter of time before he's a top-level talent in this business. I mean, the guy has it. And it's such an easy comparison, but such an apt one as well. In my opinion, he reminds me of Bruiser Brody so much that it's ridiculous. Not only just the look, the intensity, the style, the aura that he brings to the ring with him, the unpredictability, it all reminds me of Bruiser Brody, and that is not a backhanded compliment. That's not a diss in any way, shape, or form. If anybody knows me, they know that I love Bruiser Brody. I love what he did for the business, and I love the fact that we got a guy like Luke Harper that seems to be a direct influence of Bruiser Brody. This seems to be the evolution of what Bruiser Brody was. And I love it. And I love the fact that when we had Cena about to win, we had a cut off, comes back, he's tied up in the ropes, and they got the sheep mask on. Now, I personally, if I was booking it, I would have had them beat him down while tied in the ropes. However, I think they made a smarter decision by just having him tied there and not getting beat down, just to show him we can destroy you if we want to right now, but we're not going to. It all made a lot of sense. It all did really good. Like I said, Luke Harper is a guy to look out for. John Cena, he did awesome in this match. He helped purvey that Luke Harper is not just cannon fodder for him, that he's an actual threat. I thought that was good. I think the whole thing was awesome. Which leads us into our next thing. And it's coming that time where we have I believe our final entrant for this year's Hall of Fame, and I cannot wait for his induction speech. That's the bad guy, Razor Ramon. Not Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Now, it's come out afterwards that the reason they're inducting him as Razor Ramon is so they can maybe do Scott Hall as part of the Outsiders or NWO later on. I'm fine with that. We all know when he gets up there and does his speech, he's going to talk about his time in the AWA and the WCW and Florida. I mean, they all do. Rikishi did, or not Rikishi, I'm sorry. Yokozuna, they talked about everything what happened with Yokozuna before he was Yoko, after Yoko, all that. And I believe Razor will be along the same lines. He'll talk about his whole career, not just the couple of years he was Razor Ramon. Either way, if you subtract everything before Razor and everything after Razor, he deserves to be a Hall of Famer just as his Razor Ramon incarnation. I mean, one of the true awesome gimmicks of the 1990s was Razor Ramon, and Scott Hall pulled it off better than almost anybody else. Scott Hall, the guy, in my opinion, that most deserved to be a world champion but never was. And we all know it was from personal issues, but I think he deserved it more than anybody else. Next up, we go back to our tag division. Like I said, they're building it up. We have the Shield versus the Real Americans. Shield getting their comeuppance again. Real Americans pick up the win. I enjoy that they gave the win to the Real Americans. It should have been the Shield win, in my opinion, to build them as big as they were and as dominant as they were as faces, as they were heels. So, I don't know, it was kind of a double-edged sword for me. And last but not least, we had the final segment of the night. Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker in the ring at the same time. Undertaker does his casket trick. Brock falls for it. Brock gets beaten, taken out of the ring. Undertaker's left in the ring looking strong. Brock is reluctantly walking away, with Paul Heyman help pushing him away, making, again, like I said with Triple H, a segment like this is going to build the buy rate for WrestleMania. Because we're going to see that. That's going to be in the highlight package. The Undertaker coming out of the casket. Undertaker throwing him over the ropes. We're going to see that as part of the build package, and that's going to hype us up more and more. I know that there are people that said that they don't believe in this match because there's no hype for Lesnar having any chance of winning, which I agree there's not. But I think it's going to be a tremendous match either way. Now, coming off of that, we're going to go right into our rating scale. If you've seen the show before, you know we have a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. 1's a Great Khali, 2's a Santino Marella, 3's a Damian Sandow, 4's a Cesaro, 5's a Daniel Bryan. I'm going to give the show a solid 3 of Damian Sandow. Some real good stuff to go away from. Some stuff not so great on the show. A lot of filler, in my opinion, and we're getting into WrestleMania season. It should be more killer, less filler, and to me it was more filler than it was killer. Basically, that's all I have to say about this show. Now, before we go off the air, I wanted to bring up something, and I know, and I love all you guys out there. I don't consider you fans, I consider you friends. I consider that we're sharing our opinion with you. I love the comments you guys make on all our videos, whether they're negative, positive, or otherwise. I love it. I love the feedback we get. Over the last week or so, I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, I don't know what it is, but our views took a nosedive. And I'm not sure why. Could be something we're doing, could be something we're not. Could be YouTube not promoting us properly. So here's what I'm asking for you, because I believe it is YouTube not promoting us properly, because we're still getting a majorly positive reaction to what we do. My request is for you guys, my friends out there that are watching this. If you see this and you like this show, click the like button, please. Put a comment down in the comments if you feel necessary. And share this. Share this on your Twitter. Share this on your Facebook if you're part of a wrestling message board somewhere, or a wrestling group on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. Please share our stuff, because I feel that YouTube isn't promoting us like we should be promoted. I feel that YouTube has taken us for granted a little bit, and I don't think they're getting our show out to the people that would enjoy it. And my thinking is, if you enjoy it, you have friends that would enjoy it. So please, take the time out, share our videos, if you feel necessary. If you don't like what we're doing, ignore what I'm saying. If you like it, please hit the like button. So I believe the more likes we get, the more YouTube will promote it. Surprisingly, the more popular it is, the more YouTube promotes it. I understand it's kind of backwards. Also, if you could help with our promotion, I'd love to see us get up to where we're more promoted. We can do a little bit better production for you guys. Stuff like that. There's stuff we want to do that's not really in our budget, but we could add it. If we were able to get promoted more, YouTube kick back some more money to us. But anyway, that's just my call. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I'm just asking. Like I said, I consider you guys friends, not fans. But basically, this is all I have to say about this. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.